Hey Stoic friends, welcome back. Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked through a day in silence not because there's peace, but because your mind is screaming louder than words ever could? You smile when expected. You nod when you're supposed to. Outwardly, you look fine, calm, collected. But inside, it's chaos, pure, relentless mental warfare. Your thoughts feel like weapons. They throw memories like daggers. They loop old failures like a soundtrack you can't turn off. Every missed opportunity, every betrayal, every time you didn't measure up. It plays on repeat like a twisted film where you're both the actor and the audience. And there's no exit. And here's the part that hurts the most. Somewhere along the way, you started believing it. That voice inside, the one that says you're not enough. You've gone too far. It's too late for you. You stopped questioning it. You started living by it. You wake up tired. You sit in silence, but your thoughts are screaming. They whisper cruel things. You're too late. You've made too many mistakes. Your best days are behind you. And the harder you fight, the deeper you sink. This isn't just overthinking. This isn't just stress. This is psychological combat. And you've been thrown into the center of it without armor, without backup. But here's what the world sees. A functioning human. A mask. A performance. They don't see the 3 a.m. panic attacks. They don't hear the voice that won't shut up, the one calling you a failure, a burden, a ghost in your own life. You've smiled through breakdowns. You've stitched yourself together with invisible thread. You've stood in front of the world while falling apart behind closed doors. But listen carefully. This video isn't for people who are pretending everything is fine. This is for you, the one who's done pretending. The one who's been pushed to the edge. The one who's exhausted from dragging around emotional chains that feel like armor made of pain. This is for the ones who scream in silence and ache in peace. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. How do you find that power when your own mind feels like a battlefield? When every worry, every fear, every memory tries to strangle you from the inside? You don't run. You don't hide. You don't numb out. You step into the storm. Because that's what Stoicism teaches. Not toxic positivity. Not fake smiles or empty affirmations. But war. Calm, cold, real war. It's standing in the chaos of your own thoughts and declaring, "I will not be ruled by ghosts. I will not be dragged by lies. I will not die with my own hands around my throat." Stoicism doesn't sugarcoat the pain. It teaches you how to face it, walk through it, and come out forged like steel. So no, this isn't just another motivational video. This is mental armor. This is war medicine. This is a battle cry for everyone tired of being a prisoner inside their own skull. We're not sitting back and waiting for peace. We're hunting it. We're not dodging the storm. We're ripping through it with our eyes wide open. And by the end of this video, that voice in your head, the one that's been lying, tormenting, and chaining you down, it will be exposed. Because it was never truth, just noise, just fear wearing your voice. So don't blink, don't skip, don't look away. Like comment, and subscribe right now because this might be the exact message that pulls someone back from the edge. So if you're still here after the last section, you already know you're done being a slave to your own mind. Type it in the comments. I will no longer be a prisoner of my own thoughts. Say it so the world knows. Say it so you know. Now let's break the chains. Let's burn every lie that's kept you small. And let's rebuild you not as a victim, but as a force. This is the first step. Number 1, your mind is not a mirror. It's a weapon. Somewhere along the brutal road of life, someone fed you a comforting lie that your mind simply reflects the world around you, that it's passive like a mirror, that it shows you your surroundings, your emotions, your circumstances, and nothing more. But that's not just false. It's dangerous. Your mind doesn't just reflect, it distorts. It bends reality. It colors it. It takes your childhood trauma, your scars, your betrayals, and builds a twisted lens through which you see the world and yourself. And through that lens, you start to mistake illusion for truth. You believe you're weak. You believe you're stuck. You believe you're broken. But none of that is real. It's not reality. It's a trap laid by your own thoughts. You think the enemy is out there. You think life is holding you back. But wake up, the real war is behind your eyes. Inside your skull is a battlefield. And if you're not armed, you're already losing. How many times have you built catastrophes in your head that never happened? How many dreams have you buried not because someone told you no, but because that tiny, slithering voice whispered, "You're not ready"? That voice doesn't shout. It whispers. It crawls into your chest at 3 a.m., feeding on your fear like it owns the place. And the worst part? You believed it. You handed your mind the blade and told it where to cut. That's not just self-doubt. That's mental treason. Your thoughts aren't neutral. They're loaded. Every negative loop is a bullet and your mind is the gun. The longer you let it fire without resistance, the more you bleed without even realizing it. You go about your day smiling, functioning, pretending, while your thoughts rip holes in your confidence, your identity, your future. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." So here's the real question. What colors are you staining your soul with? Fear, jealousy, regret, bitterness? Because the life you're living right now is painted by the palette inside your head. And if you want a new life, you don't just shift your schedule, you burn the palette. You forge a new mind, not soft, not fragile, not positive vibes only, but steel, weaponized clarity, surgical precision, cold, calm, dominance. That's what a Stoic trains for, not comfort control. So the next time your mind whispers, "You're behind," punch back with, "I'm preparing." When it hisses, "You're not enough," you answer, "I haven't even started." You don't argue with lies. You overwrite them, not with fantasy, but with purpose, repetition, force. The kind of force that rips the weakness from your voice and replaces it with fire in your gut and steel in your spine. You don't beg your mind to help you. You grab it by the throat and drag it into discipline, because the world doesn't care if you feel stuck. It keeps spinning. And if you don't move with it, but if you train it, day by day, hour by hour, something shifts. You stop reacting to life like a puppet. You start commanding it like a general. You stop begging your thoughts to be kind and start forcing them to kneel before your vision. That's not fantasy. That's warfare. And you are the weaponsmith. Drop this in the comments if you feel it in your chest. My mind is my weapon. I will train it, not fear it. And don't just say it, bleed it. Because the second your mind obeys, the world follows. Number 2. Emotional pain isn't proof. It's a message. That pressure in your chest, that hollowness in your stomach, that twist of acid every time you think of her, him, or that moment you wish you could erase, that's not weakness. It's not proof that you're broken. It's your soul pounding on the walls you built to keep the truth out. That ache, it's not here to ruin you. It's here to wake you up. But we're so damn quick to treat pain like poison. We numb it with fake smiles. We drown it in endless scrolling. We bury it beneath meaningless hookups and shallow distractions. But pain doesn't die in the dark. It waits. It knows where you sleep. It knows your name. And the second your guard slips, it crawls back from the shadows. You think you're being punished. You think heartbreak is karma. But that's not it. That's your heart handing you a blueprint. Because pain is an architect. Brutal, honest, merciless. But if you listen, it'll show you exactly where the rot is. But instead of learning from it, you lie. You say, I'm fine. You say, I'm over it, but your hands still shake when her name pops up. Your voice still cracks when you talk about the dream you buried. And your silence? It's louder than any scream. Marcus Aurelius didn't write about pain like some peaceful philosopher sipping wine beneath the stars. He wrote from the trenches, from the battlefield, from the middle of hell. He said, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke. That means you hold the blade. You decide whether the pain cuts you or carves you into something sharper. But most people don't fight back. They let pain name them. They become the echo of what hurt them. They wear the heartbreak. They carry the rejection. And soon, they forget who they were before the damage. But if there's even an ounce of fire left in you, don't let pain speak for you. Stare it down. Tear the message from its throat. What is this agony trying to tell you? What truth have you avoided for too long? What identity have you already outgrown? Because inside that suffering is code, a version of you that's already dead. And the only reason it still hurts is because you're trying to drag the corpse with you. Let it burn. Feel every inch of the pain. Let it set your bones on fire. Let it bring you to your knees. But don't stay there. Stand back up. Eyes bloodshot, hands shaking, heart wide open, and say, thank you for the lesson. Now get the hell out of my way. You are not your damage. You are not the one who got left. You are not the failure, the almost, or the forgotten. You are the fire that survived all of it, and that makes you lethal. Drop this in the comments if you've ever crawled your way out of emotional hell. My pain didn't break me. It built me. And if your heart still hurts, good. That means it still works. That means you've still got something left worth fighting for. Number 3. Kill the inner narrator that keeps you small. There's a voice. It doesn't shout. It doesn't sleep. But it's always there waiting. It's in your head before your eyes even open. It doesn't scream. It slices. It waits for moments of hope, then poisons them with doubt. It doesn't speak. It drips. Drips guilt. Drips shame. Drips weakness. And it's patient. It doesn't need to attack you outright because it's been watching you for years. Coiled, quiet, and every time you second-guessed yourself, every time you backed away from your own greatness, every time you swallowed your voice, when your soul was ready to roar, it was there, feeding, grinning, winning. But here's the truth. You weren't born with that voice. You built it. Built it from the cold stares that told you you'd never be enough, from the cruel words that cut deep, from the laughter that made you shrink, from the nights you lay in bed whispering, "Why does this always happen to me?" You didn't choose that voice, but you fed it with fear, with silence, with repetition. And now it walks through your mind like it owns the place. That voice, the one that whispers you're lazy, you're late, you're unworthy. It's not you. It's a liar, wearing your tone. It's a thief, disguised as your conscience. It doesn't want progress. It wants power. And every time you hesitate, it grows fangs. Every time you talk yourself out of something bigger, it rubs its hands and digs in deeper. You want to know where the real war is? It's not out there. It's not between you and the world. It's you versus that inner leech, that saboteur who's been scripting your downfall in your own handwriting. You think you're lazy. You think you're broken. You think you're behind. That's not you. That's a fake version of you molded by pain, by moments you were never meant to carry. So burn it, rip it apart, drag it into the daylight, choke it with facts. Marcus Aurelius didn't command armies and hold empires by trusting the first voice in his head. He wrote in his journal again and again, not because he was weak, but because he knew how brutal the inner war could be. He knew the mind is a battlefield, and unchecked thoughts are traitors. He wrote, "Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts." So, what's the color of yours? Faded gray? Lifeless beige? Or are you finally ready to paint it in blood-red courage and steel-black discipline? Here's the move. You don't negotiate with that voice. You don't reason with it. You replace it. When it says, "You're not ready," you answer, "No one starts ready." When it says, "You'll fail," you grin and say, "Then I'll bleed forward." When it whispers, "They're better than you," you raise your chin and growl, "Good. Let them watch me catch up." This isn't about fake affirmations. This isn't about staring in the mirror chanting, "I am enough," while your life stays the same. This is about rewriting the damn narration. This is about killing the passive tone and replacing it with fire-breathing command. It's about becoming your own commander, not your own critic. So next time that voice shows up, treat it like a trespasser. Slam the mental door in its face. Get aggressive. Get surgical. Use your actions as weapons. Every step forward is a slap in its mouth. Every act of discipline, every disciplined day, is a bullet through its lies. Speak to yourself like a soldier, gritty, raw, but rooted in purpose. You're not here to babysit insecurities. You're here to build an unshakable core. Kill that voice. Drown it in effort. Strangle it with structure. Burn it with truth. Bury it under reps, books, silence, solitude, hunger, and heat. Break it. The way a storm breaks the sky. Without apology. Because that voice isn't just your weakness. It's your cage. And you don't break cages by being polite. You break them by becoming undeniable. You don't need a reason. You don't need approval. You need movement. Action is your sword. Discipline is your shield. You are not a victim of your thoughts. You are the sculptor, the fire, the force. So take the damn pen back and silence the narrator for good. Number 4. Stop asking for peace in a battlefield you won't leave. You say you want peace, but every night you lie down in the middle of a war zone. You curl up with chaos like it's your lover. You invite drama into your bloodstream like a drug. You swore you'd quit. You scroll through envy like it's oxygen. You drink from the well of digital poison and then cry to the sky. Why does my mind feel like a cage? You say you're tired, but every day you show up to the circus with a front row ticket and open arms. Let's be honest, you don't want peace. You want comfort in hell. And hell has no exits for those who keep decorating the walls. There is no such thing as calm in an environment you refuse to leave. Peace doesn't bloom in madness. It gets slaughtered there. You light candles for serenity, but leave your doors open for every demon that's ever haunted you. You read quotes about healing, but stay chained to the very things breaking you. Don't confuse rituals with resurrection. You can meditate at dawn, but if you're still texting ghosts by noon, you're not healing. You're hiding. You're not finding peace. You're faking it. Marcus Aurelius told us to retreat into our own soul. But you built a nightclub inside yours, and every night you turn the music louder, just to drown out your own heartbeat. So ask yourself, who are you trying to save by destroying yourself? Who are you still clinging to, hoping they'll someday feel like peace, even when every conversation with them feels like slow death? It's time to face reality. Some people come with knives, not hugs. Some places are built to shrink you. Some habits wear the mask of hobbies, but they're executioners in disguise. And every time you stay in those mental war zones, you surrender your crown. You trade your peace for noise, your mind for madness, your soul for shallow validation. You want to change your life? Then leave the room that's setting you on fire, even if everyone you love is still sitting inside it. You want to stop overthinking? Then starve it. Cut off its oxygen. Silence the noise that keeps feeding it. Unfollow every face that makes you feel like you're falling behind. Block the people who drained your light, then mocked you for going dim. Walk away from conversations that play in your head like torture songs. This isn't cold. It's clarity. It's war. And in war, mercy to the enemy is cruelty to yourself. Detachment isn't indifference. It's defense. When they call you selfish for choosing your sanity, smile, because sanity is sacred. And no one, absolutely no one, gets to rent space in your head unless they bring peace with them. Let them misunderstand. You let them gossip, let them blame, distort, twist your story. You are done performing for approval. This isn't a stage anymore. You burned that thing to ash. You are not weak for walking away. You are not broken for protecting your energy. You are not cold, you are a fortress now. And peace is your moat. You are no longer begging to be heard in rooms filled with noise. You are no longer bleeding to keep others warm. Let them freeze. You're done handing out fire to people who only ever used it to burn you. And when you finally truly walk out of those emotional war zones, you'll taste something you've never known before. Silence not empty, but holy. Solitude not lonely, but divine. Stillness not boring, but alive. You'll sit with yourself and feel it in your bones. You are home. And you'll finally realize peace was never something the world was supposed to give you. It was a kingdom waiting to be reclaimed. And now, it's yours. Number 5. You're not behind, you're being forged. Let's expose one of the most brutal, soul-crushing lies your mind loves to tell you. You're behind. Behind in life. Behind in love. Behind in success. You look around and everyone else seems to be soaring, their highlight reels flashing past your face, like trophies you'll never touch. Meanwhile, you're crawling through mud, dragging yourself forward while they post victories. In perfect lighting, their polished Instagram moments, their curated timelines, and suddenly, you feel like you missed the boat. And in that moment, you're not running your race anymore. You're trapped in comparison. You think, what's wrong with me? And a quiet, heavy sadness starts to settle in. It clings to your bones. It pulls you deeper into the silence. You feel like the clock is ticking, like everyone else is, racing ahead, and you're being left in the dust. But let me break it to you hard and honest. You're not behind. You're in the furnace. That heat you're feeling, that struggle, that ache, that slow grind. It's not failure, it's forging. The Stoics knew this better than anyone. Marcus Aurelius didn't waste time watching others win. He was too busy becoming. He didn't ask, what does it take to be a good man? He became one. He said, don't waste time thinking about what a good man should be one. So what does that mean for you? Stop looking sideways. Stop measuring your timeline against theirs. You're not behind. You're in the fire, and fire doesn't break steel, it forges it. That pressure on your shoulders, that's not the weight of defeat. It's the weight of transformation. Every moment you feel like quitting, every time life pushes you to your knees, every delay, heartbreak, or rejection, it's not life punishing you. It's life shaping you, sharpening you, molding you into something indestructible. You are not falling behind. You are becoming unstoppable. The world is obsessed with fast wins and fake success. But what you're building, what's growing inside you, it's deeper, stronger, real. You're building a strength the world can't see yet. The kind of strength that survives the storms. The kind that stays standing when everything else falls. And that's power. You don't need applause to move forward. You don't need permission. You don't need to trend. You are not a blip on the radar. You are a force. And the world, it doesn't give credit to forces until they explode. Transformation doesn't happen under spotlights. It happens in the shadows, in silence, when no one is watching, when you're awake at 3 a.m., battling demons no one else sees, when you're sweating alone, pushing harder, while the rest of the world sleeps. It's in those moments when there are no cheers, no applause, just you and that brutal voice inside saying, "Keep going," while everything else is screaming, "Stop." That's the real test. That's where you'll find out what you're made of. And here's the thing. No one sees it coming. They won't hear the storm forming. They won't know the fire you've walked through. They won't understand the pain, the growth, the discipline. But when you rise, when you step out of the flames unshaken, unscarred, unstoppable, they'll have no choice but to witness what you built in silence. Your chapter isn't over. This is where it begins. So stop listening to the voice that says, "You're behind." That voice is a lie. You're not late. You're in the forge. And when that fire has finished its work, you won't rise as a copy of someone else's success. You'll rise as the force they never saw coming. So keep pushing. Keep sharpening. Keep becoming. The world's not ready for what you're about to become. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need every answer. Perfection is the enemy of progress. What you need is this moment. This decision. This is the turning point. No more letting your past mistakes define you. No more letting mental chaos drown your clarity. No more handing over your power to fear. Today, right now, you reclaim the weapon inside your head. You train it like a soldier, focused, disciplined, unshakable. You become a stoic anchored in the present, immune to the storms of doubt and fear. You walk forward not surviving, but living with conviction, with purpose, and with unbreakable resilience. If this hit you deep, if something in your gut stirred like truth cutting through the noise, don't keep it inside. Hit that like button. Drop a comment below and let the world know. I burned my old thoughts to the ground. Now my peace rises from the ashes. Share this with someone still lost in their own mind, someone who needs to be reminded that they're not broken, they're becoming. And hit subscribe to Stoic Capsule, because this isn't just a video. This is a call to arms, a movement, a war against the lies in our heads. And we're not here to survive it. We're here to win.